Hey guys, welcome to our second Getting Started with Naverisk video. In the first video, if you remember, we covered off going over clients and devices. In this particular video, we're going to be looking at adding new users into Naverisk, creating new groups to put those users into, and how we can restrict the access to these users and groups. So the first thing we're going to do is create a new group. We'll click on the Settings tab, scroll down to the bottom and click on Users and Groups. So as you can see, under Nav Demo 2, we've got all of our users here and our groups. But what we're going to do is choose a test client here, and we're going to create a new group under this test client to put our users into. So by clicking on New Group here, we're able to fill out the details such as which client we're going to be using. Of course, that's going to be our test client. The parent group, such as full user rights, which we won't need in this case. Give it a group name, and of course give it a description as well. So for this scenario, I'm just going to create a quick sales group. So I'll pop that in the description as well. Now when we save this group, you'll see this group appear, and of course our group listing here. So over on our right, we have our edit rights and delete icons. I'm going to click on a little padlock icon, which is for the rights. As you can see here, we can give this group access to private notes. We can also assign the user rights, such as what they have access to, what in Naverisk they can edit, and what they can create in Naverisk. So for the sales group, I'm giving them the Clients tab. I'm going to give them just access to the Devices tab, just so they can see things. I'm going to give them the Scheduling tab and a few other tabs here as well. As you go through and start using Naverisk a bit more, you'll be able to customize your groups as you see fit and for what security purposes that you need. So as you can see, we've also given them full access to the sales queue tickets, so we'll need those. And of course, we can give them access to certain reports as well. So once we've assigned the rights that we want, we'll simply save those rights, and now we're going to go and create a new user by clicking on the New User button. So under the General tab for new users, we can select the client that we want to create the user under, give them a username. As you can see, there's also time zone. Now the user time zone is very important. We need to make sure it's correct for the user, otherwise if they schedule jobs or anything else in Naverisk, the time's going to be out. So I've assigned them to the sales group. And under person, you can either select an existing person to fill out this user, or you can fill out the details manually. You can choose a location for this user as well. So once we've filled out the general details, let's go over to the Settings tab. Here we can change the date and time format. I know that it's different in America than it is for us in New Zealand and in Europe. Duration format, let's set that to say minutes. And we can also set new ticket defaults as well. This is a really cool feature. So what we can do is, if this user creates a new ticket, then these fields will already be filled out. So for example, if it's a sales ticket, the phone call, we can set ticket type to service call, and all these different fields here, so it's a lot easier for them to create a new ticket. So once we save these fields, we can actually see them here, source, ticket type, and SLA class. Enable disable sound notifications for this user, same with whether they can have tickets assigned to them. Choose a home page such as tickets, and set a login timeout as well. So we can set this to say 60 minutes before Naverisk will automatically log them out. We can set user status as well, such as whether their account's disabled or not. And ticket timer. So ticket timer, you will see in another video, is a way of being able to log time in a ticket. Authentication type, so I've chosen Google 2FA, and it's created a Google 2FA key, or we can use just a standard password as well. It's completely up to you as to how the business is run. Here at Naverisk, we actually use a Google 2FA key for all of our users. You can also add a plain text version of your email signature, and once we've added that in, we can save this user and we're ready to go. Once we've made changes to our user, you can actually see the details under each one of these columns here, such as what group they're in. We can actually select the group from the column and just make sure we've given them the correct access, and just ensure that everything is set up the way that we want it to be for our users and for our groups. So that wraps it up for our users and groups video. In the next video, we'll be looking at the monitoring and alerting aspects of Naverisk. Thanks for watching.